Welcome to Silent Medicine, where science meets spirit quietly, practically, and without urgency. I am Dr. Nnenna Ndika, clinical psychologist, integrative medicine doctor, and someone who has learned over time that the body often heals best when the noise finally softens. Today's episode is called Why Silence Matters During Recovery. And when I say silence, I don't only mean the absence of sound. I mean the absence of pressure, the absence of constant input, the absence of urgency. Because many of us do not simply live busy lives. We live in continuous stimulation, and the nervous system pays for that. Also for me, silence during recovery is not just about less noise. It is a sacred condition. It gives me space to communicate energetically with the Most High and to communicate with my body, with my systems, and even my individual cells. Because when the noise is reduced, the body's sensations and signals become more audible. And when the body becomes more audible, guidance often becomes clearer. Not only mentally, but physiologically, emotionally, energetically, intuitively, and spiritually. So, if you are listening while tired, or tender, or overstimulated, this episode is for you. Let's begin here. I do not experience silence as emptiness. I experience it as an environment of repair, a place where the nervous system can soften and the inner healer can finally speak. Silence is an environment, and the body responds to environments. If you have ever walked into a room that felt chaotic, even if no one said anything, your body knew. Your shoulders lifted. Your breathing changed. Your stomach tightened. Your attention sharpened. That is the nervous system reading the room. Now imagine the opposite. A room that feels quiet, safe, still. The jaw unclenches. The breath lengthens. The gut softens. The heart slows. So silence is not doing nothing. Silence is the body being placed in a condition where it can recognize, recalibrate, and remember safety again. I want to clarify something very important. Silence is not avoidance. Silence is not emotional suppression. Silence is not pretending you are fine. Silence is not isolation. Silence is not disconnecting from life. Silence is simply reducing input enough that the body can finally process what it has been carrying. Sometimes we think healing comes from adding more. more research, more podcasts, more protocols, more supplements, more plans. But for a sensitive system, more input can quietly become more stress. Sometimes the medicine is not another solution. Sometimes the medicine is space, a pause, a quiet pocket where the body can finally catch up with itself. This is what I mean when I speak about silence as part of medicine. Let's place this into simple language. When the body is exposed to constant stimulation, noise, urgency, pressure, scrolling, multitasking, the nervous system often remains in a mild but ongoing state of alert. And as a side note, nobody is truly multitasking. What we often call multitasking is really rapid attention switching, moving from one focus to another, back and forth, sometimes very quickly. But that constant shifting still places a demand on the nervous system. And over time, the body can begin to stay slightly braced. Not always panic, not always anxiety, just on, just ready. And my question sometimes becomes, ready for what? When the system stays activated too long, certain things may begin to happen. Digestion becomes less efficient. Sleep becomes lighter or more disturbed. Inflammation may arise. Emotions become harder to process. The mind becomes more reactive. The body begins holding tension like an armor. Silence sends a different signal. Silence says, you do not have to scan right now. You do not have to perform right now either. You do not have to stay ready right now. And when the body receives that signal repeatedly, it begins to shift. That shift matters more than many people realize. Because healing is not only a decision, healing is also a state. And silence helps the body re-enter a healing state. Now, let's be honest. Some people do not like silence. And I believe many of us understand why. That does not mean someone is shallow or undisciplined. It often means something deeper and deeply human. Silence can reveal what the noise was covering. When stimulation decreases, people may begin to notice grief, fatigue, loneliness, anger, fear, tension, resentment, unmet needs, memories the body stored quietly. This is why many people Fill every available gap. Music in the shower, podcast during walks, videos while eating, scrolling before bed. Not because they are bad, but because quiet can sometimes feel like you are being forced to face something you'd rather not face. And many people are not yet ready to do that voluntarily. So if silence makes you uncomfortable, I want you to hear this gently. That doesn't mean silence is wrong. It may simply mean the body, your body, is finally honest enough to speak. And we do not force anything. We practice silence in doses the nervous system can tolerate. Because silence is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to restore you. Let's make this practical. There are at least 3 forms of silence you can begin practicing gently. The first one I'd like us to look at is sound silence. Reducing actual auditory noise. This can be as simple as turning off the background television, sitting in your car for 1 minute before walking inside, taking a walk without headphones, lowering the volume of your life by 1 notch. Now let's look at screen silence. This is one of the most important forms today. Screen silence is not about punishment or discipline. It is about allowing the nervous system a break from rapid input. Examples: no phone for the first 10 minutes after waking up. No scrolling for the last 10 minutes before sleep. 1 meal each day without a screen. Or a gentle scrolling curfew. Even 5 minutes matter and can make a huge difference over time. Now we have the third form of silence, which is inner silence. This is the deepest form, and it is a practice. Inner silence does not mean you have no thoughts. It means you stop adding pressure to your thoughts. You stop wrestling with your mind. You stop narrating everything. You stop attacking yourself internally. Internal silence or inner silence could sound like, I am here. I can breathe. This moment is safe enough. And your inner dialogue, that is, what you say to yourself, matters far more than many people realize. So, let's further make this practical and human. If you are a busy parent, silence may simply look like 60 seconds in the bathroom or sitting quietly on the edge of the bed before the day begins, or turning the radio off during one short drive. Not a spa day, just space. Space that reminds the body you still exist too. Now, if you are a clinician or caregiver, silence may become a transition ritual between patients or clients. No scrolling, no talking, just one long exhale and a soft reset. Because when you are carrying other people's needs all day, the body can remain in sympathetic activation without realizing it. Silence helps you return to yourself. If you are a high achiever or an immigrant carrying enormous responsibilities, silence may look like not filling every gap with productivity. 2 minutes of sitting without earning it. No optimizing, no proving, no making the moment useful. Just allowing the body to learn. I do not have to perform to deserve rest. And if you are actively healing or recovering, silence may be one of the environments your body needs in order to shift from vigilance into repair. So I encourage you to practice silence in the way that fits your life right now. Gently, consistently, and without pressure. Then simply observe what begins to shift over time. Some people mistake silence for isolation, but silence does not always create loneliness. Sometimes silence is what makes connection possible again, because you are no longer overstimulated and reactive. Sometimes silence helps you listen to yourself, to others, to life, to the Most High, your Creator. Sometimes silence reconnects people with their inner wisdom. And for many people, that is where healing quietly begins. Now, I would like to offer you a small guided practice. You can think of this as a tender day practice. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes, though you are welcome to stay longer if your body desires it. If it feels safe, place one hand on your belly or chest and either close your eyes or soften your gaze. Then inhale for 4 seconds. Pause for 1 second. And exhale for 6 seconds. And repeat that gently for 3 rounds. If either the inhale or exhale count feels uncomfortable, reduce the number. Just allow the exhale to be a little longer than the inhale. Then sit quietly for a few moments and internally say, Most High, please steady me. Then say, Body, I'm listening. Now softly name your current state. Do you feel steady, open, or clear? And allow about 20 seconds of silence. Not fixing, not analyzing, just noticing. Notice the contact between your body and the chair, or the bed, or the floor. Notice the temperature of the air. Notice your jaw. Notice your shoulders. If thoughts come, you do not fight them. You simply return and focus on your breathing. And now, quietly name your state once more. Are you steady? Open or clear? Then gently tell your body, this is safe enough. And if today is a particularly tender day for you, and this practice felt like too much, here is the smallest version. One hand on your belly, one long exhale. And the sentence, I am here. That counts too. Here is your gentle invitation for this week. Choose one small silence window each day. It may be 60 seconds in the morning, 2 minutes in the car, 5 minutes before bed, 1 meal without a screen, 1 walk without headphones. And during that silence window, practice one thing only. Soften the jaw. Lengthen the exhale. And allow your body to be held by quiet. That is enough. Not perfection, just gentle repetition and consistency. Silence is not a luxury. It is often a condition the body needs in order to return to itself. And you do not have to wait for a perfect life in order to practice it. 1 minute is enough to begin. Thank you for spending this quiet time with me today. And if something in this episode touched a nerve in a good way, or helped you feel a little less overwhelmed by it all, you might consider sharing it with someone whose body has also been carrying a lot in silence. You can find more calm, practical reflections at silentmedicine.com. And if you would like gentle support about once a week, you are welcome to join the Silent Medicine newsletter there as well. As a gentle reminder before we close, this podcast is educational only. It is not medical or psychological advice, and it does not replace working with qualified professionals who know you and your history. Rather, it is offered as an invitation to inform, to inspire, and to support your journey of deeper self-discovery and healing. Until next time, may you notice one quiet way your body is already trying to care for you, even if the world has not fully honored that yet. May you keep listening to the healer within. I am Dr. Nnenna Ndika, and this is Silent Medicine. Take care.